And we really have no idea what to expect, do we?
Yeah, I mean, Kit's going to try to wrestle or at least be defensive in nature. I think that's one thing. He's got good shots. He tend to end up in some guillotine trouble, but was able to work himself out well recently. So, but a guillotine from Xande is a whole nother thing.
Different level.
That's a whole different thing. So if he's going to take a shot, he's going to really have to set it up well. Get Xande standing up. Maybe go to single legs and then go to a double. That way you can try to be more predictable of where your head's going to go.
Now, we talked about Kit Dale, you know, being an LA representative. He's actually specifically a Hollywood representative. He's in the movie industry. He's got a lot going on in his world. It's not just jiu-jitsu, and so it's fun to see him, you know, have these other career detours, but then come back in a legendary match like this in his most well-prepared state. Just like he said, he's coming in the best he's ever been. So really a fun treat for the fans. Fighting for inside position here. Kit has that inside tie with the left hand on the tricep, and you can see him trying to edge that right elbow in, but now Xande fights back inside with the left hand.
And, you know, Xande will fool you into think it's wrestling, and then a flying arm lock. I'm serious. Like, he's done it many times. He's, you know, got you busy thinking, I'm wrestling, this guy's wrestling, and then all of a sudden, no, he's not. So he's very, very crafty.
He had a potential slide by there, and Kit was able to turn that into an underhook, and it kind of backed right out. A lot of micro adjustments going on here in the hand fight. And you're right, Sean. You know, Xande is a fascinating person to watch compete because he makes things look effortless. That's really a sign of an expert, right? They talk about being in the flow state or making difficult things look easy. And he oftentimes throws up really amazing performances and transitions and moves that look like they took very little effort, and they weren't telegraphed at all either. It's very unique. See Kit fighting for inside position with that right hand. Every time Xande posts with his left hand, Kit's fights back inside. About 2.5 minutes in here. And kind of like we were mentioning earlier, you know, with high-level competitors, they do, especially in a match of 15 minutes, they do often take the first few minutes to feel each other out, kind of get a sense for the timing. Here we see a guard pull from Xande Ribeiro. There's like a learning and adjustment period oftentimes that happens with people that are this experienced, especially if they haven't gone together or haven't gone together in years. Kind of want to know what they're getting themselves into before they take any huge risks. Now, man, seeing Xande come into a closed guard, this is a dangerous place for Kit to be. He's able to open that guard. Xande comes back into knee shield or a bit of a Z guard here.
Yeah, the control of the right side, as we mentioned earlier, is very important. That's what sets up omoplatas, sets up triangles. You see Xande trying to clear Kit's hand in the armpit.
Yeah, Xande has a great control on the wrist there, and Kit, like you said, is trying to push that knee down, maybe force Xande into half guard. Not an easy task.
Yeah, the hand in the armpit's nice. It keeps some space. It makes omoplatas very, very difficult, and triangles as well, so that if you do lose control of the wrist tie, then you can still can keep some distance and space.
One of the things Xande's so great at doing here with that left knee is he really lures people into a sense of safety, into pressuring in and driving your weight on top of him. And he's so great at attacking there.
Yeah.
Almost had a look at a tilt sweep there, even from his right knee tilting into the belly when Kit pressured forward. But Kit's doing a great job, even though there will be a referee's warning here for passivity. It's a difficult position for Kit to be in because he's doing a great job not taking the bait oftentimes from Xande, not driving too far in.
Well, this is Kit's strong position. I think that if he's going to choose to where he could start anywhere, this would be where he would be, where he would want to be.
Yeah, and when you have two guys that are in positions they're so well versed in, there's a lot that we can't see that isn't necessarily technical, it's feeling. They can feel degrees and things that we are not able to see on the outside. So there's quite a lot of I want to say like physical intelligence going on here. They've just spent so many hours here. You know, they just have so much, a massive amount of time spent in these positions. They can feel things that are hard to see with the eye. Reverse de la Hibe. This is a bit of a switch now from Xande has.
Judges favor.
I'm sorry, half guard.
Blue.
See the slight judges favor for Kit Dale out of the blue corner. Again, this is not an official score, but it lets you know where the judges' minds are at.
Xande trying to get to that clamp guard, into that triangle.
Kit got over the knee there for a minute. You saw that, Sean? He pushed that knee down, got over, almost able to force half guard, but Xande was able to bring his knee back inside and create some extension. See a penalty awarded for blue. Again, we're obviously submission only, so the penalty won't go on the board. It's not seen as points necessarily, but it plays into the decision, of course. Hear that shin on shin. That's a bit of a different approach here from Xande with that left foot.
Yeah, it's a good way to get the knee to the floor.
Kit trying to use his head for a moment there to drive Xande's left shoulder away. What do you think we might see Xande switch? Oh, we see him stand up right. I was about to ask what you might think we see him switch to, since he's not able to get his usual game going. But as I said that, he opted to stand up. So clearly having some difficulty and frustration there dealing with the, like you said, Kit's best position, right?
Yeah. He wasn't able to get an omoplata or triangle going there, so, or any type of sweeping activity. So.
It was an interesting approach to the close guard, too, from Kit, because Xande is very well known for his close guard and his side guard, right? He oftentimes attacks from the side. Close guard, he's really famous for that in a lot of ways. Oh, big shot there.
Yeah, it's a snap down. Yeah, Kit hit a really nice snap down, pressured in, snapped Xande down.
Man, it was a snap down. I looked away for half a second to get a different angle. That was so fast.
Yeah, he had a nice little snap down there, pushed in.
But, you know, I was thinking about that earlier, that the Kit opened the guard, you know, he sprawled back, and that presented a big problem for Xande, not being able to get to one of his favorite positions, which most people are not able to do that to his guard, right? I think that's notable. Really says something about Kit's positioning, awareness, and passing on top, that he opened Xande's guard, and Xande wasn't able to get back into that close or side guard position. Xande looking to go to the outside, but arm drag there from Kit. That was such a well-timed return. Such a well-timed return, and we see Nicky Rock here in the corner of Kit Dale.
Yeah.
Along with Declan, another B-team representative who fought earlier tonight. It was a big moment for Kit to be able to take Xande down.
Drag, wow. Yeah, it's beautiful. Arm drag mat return.
And it was off of Xande trying to go to the back, right? He was trying to find an angle, and Kit had a very well-timed arm drag in return, and now comes into a similar position that we saw earlier.
Yeah, Xande still needs to really get on the wrist with that and be ready to pummel that left underhook through.
You see, like you said, Xande reached through with his right hand to control the left wrist of Kit. Kit's doing a great job of pushing that knee down and then trying to pummel his hips over, trying to switch his hips over as he pummels his legs. A couple of times now, we've also seen Xande potentially reach for a K-guard entry, right? We've seen his right arm try to scoop the near side leg and back to the feet. You can hear Xande's corner urging him to fight for inside position on the hand fight. We have a quick little replay we're going to see at the bottom of the screen of that takedown. Back clinch, big lift from Kit. They almost went off the mat there, right, Sean?
Yeah.
Oh, and here we see another back clinch from Kit Dale.
Yeah, a little slide by.
Started to put in a half here on the left side. And he has a bit of a spiral ride. His right hand was on the inside of the thigh, and Xande turns, beautiful recovery.
Yeah, he uses that hook to clear him out. But again, he still has to contend with this. there. When he holds the body, that's a whole different ball game. So that's when those clamp guard attacks can start to come by. But Xande really needs to control that far wrist. Now he could keep walking. He's got to keep walking. He's got to go to a single here. The Xande, because that kid has a great underhook right now. So he could drive forward, drive his head forward, and flip this left foot up on top. And Xande's going to have to fight off a mount. There he's got the right hand in good position, but still has an underhook. So knee cutting. Now he's got double underhook. So.
Man, for a second there, Xande had his butterfly hook in, but beautiful hip switch by Kit. That was very well timed. Yeah. Very well timed. Find his way to the back as Xande turtles to escape the pass.
Judges favor blue.
We're going to see a second judge's favor for Kit Dale. Again, this is not a 2 out of 3 or anything like that as far as the judge's favor goes, but it lets you know where the judge's minds are at, and it gives us a hint into the direction of the match. So what that means, though, too, is like even though the first 10 minutes of the match were voted or judged to be with Kit Dale in the lead, something significant enough could happen in the final 5 minutes that turns that around. We've seen that many times at Who's Number One.
Yeah, I like the shin to shin is good, getting the knee on the ground, but then it's got to follow up with a sort of a John Wayne or a knee leveler to move the balance there to get the underhook. And
Xande back up again.
Inside.
You can see, oh wow, big shuck to the back one more time for Kid, and this time Xande actually able to turn it into a pole rather than going down in a turtle position or any sort of body lock.
Yeah, Kid has a nice right-handed position now. So that underhook is going to get creepy really deep if he turns it into a knee cut or drives his body forward. Now Xande got into a better position, but
look at Kid's control with the left hand on the wrist of Xande, right? That we've seen them battle for that throughout the whole match. Maybe we'll look at a Darce there for a moment. Inside bicep tie from Xande was able to change that position quite a bit. Now they kind of back out into the position we continue to see over and over through this match. Like you said, Kid's favorite passing position, and we know here Xande is so dangerous as well. Lots of omoplatas and triangles are something that we see consistently from this position, but Kid's been really able to answer that problem that Xande typically presents.
3 minutes, Xande, let's go.
And the right hand is really good now, a good position there. Yeah, can't let those underhooks creep in that deep.
Man, that was the second time that we've seen a similar sequence where Xande had his right butterfly hook in and defense to Kit's passing, and then Kit was able to hip switch over the top. Obviously wasn't able to secure the passing position there. But for someone, if you are going to study these guys or you're interested in watching high-level competition, we talked a little bit about this earlier, Sean, where we said you oftentimes see the same competitors repeat the same series throughout the match, but they get increasingly tighter, or their IQ about their opponent goes up. So they shift their reactions, and things really change. 2:30 left here, Sean. What would you be thinking if you were in Xande's corner about trying to turn this around?
Well, he's got us to have a little bit of a different approach here. I like the shin to shin he's doing, but he's got to get the knee down and then knee lever. Can't just or crowbar like a John Wayne style to get some off balance to get your left underhook in play. And he needs to have that. I think it would be a good idea for him to get that left underhook into play, walk his legs backwards, an arm drag now.
That was looking a little more reminiscent of what we see when he's in this position. But Kid has been really, I mean, you gotta imagine he's done his homework and learning how to shut this position down for this match, right?
Xande's not able to get that right foot up to the hip, and that's another thing that once you have the wrist, get that right foot, hit the bottom foot up to the hip to try to get a little bit of space, a little bit of push away with the foot. It's a lot easier than carrying someone with your forearm, but he's going to have to go after a single here if he's not careful.
See some back control here potentially from Kit.
Yeah, now if he can keep not now, he's got an underhook. If he can keep the legs wrapped up and then go hug that leg, then you can have an opportunity to get to the top. But
I wonder if we'll see a similar attempt from Kit again, going to the same kind of shuck to a clinch or arm drag to the clinch. And there we see, oh, there was an attempt. Underhook to the clinch there, but Xande was able to kind of cut the angle, stay more square. We only got 1 minute left, Sean. This is be really interesting to see if they change or they kind of stay in the same series, or if Xande tries to throw something else at him. Shoots in, gets in deep, but man, that sprawl and a quarter Nelson here from Kit Dale to answer it.
Yeah, he would have had to cut the corner hard there, so.
Yeah, that quarter Nelson's really nasty because it shoves the head down so hard, it makes it hard to sit through or really respond at all, quite honestly.
30 seconds.
Oh, it's been a very dominant showing for Kit Dale so far.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got in his great position that he likes.
One more hip switch there.
And used the underhooks well. Kept distance with his V grip in the armpit.
Man, just 10 seconds remaining. Looks like Kit's going to be able to ride out a pretty dominant passing sequence here one more time. And the time is going to expire in a match between, like we've said many times, two legendary competitors who are so happy to see here on the Who's Number One stage. We're going to take just a minute. These guys are going to check in with their corners. We're going to get some replays as the judges make their final decision. Big shot there from Xande, led to that initial front headlock control in the back. That was one of the first really big moments in this match.
Yeah, it's a nice arm drag cross strip there, or at least a foot block.
Another angle, the same one where they almost went off the mat.
Yeah.
It's very interesting that Kit was able to repeat so many of the same sequences over and over, especially on someone so legendary and high level. I mean, I shouldn't even have to say, we all know Xande Ribeiro, how incredible of a competitor he is, but I don't know if anyone really expected to come out and see Kit put on that kind of a show.
Yeah.
And we're going to get the official decision right here.
After 15 hard-fought minutes, we go to the judges. Your winner by decision, out of the blue corner, Kit Dale!
No big shock there. We've got a win for Kit Dale after some dominant takedowns, some passing, and just a great strategy deployed against